Welcome back. Who do you think will win today, the Spectre or Ghost Rider? Conceptually, at first glance, this seems like a fair fight, as both are entities that carry out God's judgment and punishment. However, the Spectre operates on a much higher order than the Ghost Rider. The character has a complex history and many different variations. At times, the Spectre is depicted as a fallen entity from Lucifer's rebellion, then sealed into a human body to carry out divine wrath and punishment. At other times, he appears as an angry spirit, the embodiment of the ultimate will of justice of the entity known as the Voice. The Spectre's presence not only represents divine vengeance, but also reflects the unforgiving nature of supernatural justice, making him one of the most powerful and feared entities in the universe in which he exists. In DC mythology, the Spectre often takes on a similar role to Galactus, although his power and status are often compared more closely to the Living Tribunal. The Spectre is often used as a measure of power, where a new, seemingly invincible villain is brought in to confront him, thus demonstrating the scale of the threat facing the heroes. This serves to highlight the power disparity between the characters and emphasize how dangerous the enemy truly is. When it comes to demonstrating the threat level of the Cancerverse, especially the destructive power of the Galactus engine, the first being it confronts is the Devourer of Worlds, with support from other cosmic entities, such as several celestials and abstract beings. Similarly, when the Anti-Monitor, the Destroyer of Universes, plots to reshape all of creation, the Spectre becomes the ultimate line of defense, powered by the magical energies of DC's greatest mystical heroes, including Dr. Fate and the Phantom Stranger. The Spectre is the last bulwark of existence at the very beginning of time. The Spectre's role in the DC universe extends beyond punishing evil to symbolizing the balance between justice, divine wrath, and absolute protection against the threat of total annihilation. Make no mistake, the Ghost Rider is a being of immense power, not to be taken lightly. In his base state, while still bound to the morality and will of his mortal host, often reluctant recipients of his power, the Rider is capable of going toe-to-toe with beings as powerful as the Hulk in a rage, sustaining the fight for considerable periods of time. This shows that even when restrained, Ghost Rider's power is enough to challenge monster-level enemies. However, when the spirit of vengeance is freed from the limitations imposed by its host and acts on its primal instincts, Ghost Rider reaches a whole other level of power. In this state, the Rider can rival Earth's most powerful superhuman entities, including individuals with superhuman strength such as Thor, Scarlet Witch, and even ancient magical entities. Not only does Ghost Rider possess tremendous physical strength, he also possesses special supernatural abilities such as the Hellfire and the Stare of Repentance, making him one of the most terrifying entities to face any foe. With his combination of godlike power, soul control, and immortality, however, the Spectre is more than just a powerful supernatural entity. He reaches a level far beyond. At one point, the Spectre even fought a brief battle with Michael Demiurgos, an entity whose demiurgic power, the power to create the universe, was on par with Lucifer Morningstar and second only to the Presence. While the Spectre was ultimately defeated, this was hardly surprising, as the wrath of God is by nature no match for an entity wielding the power of God, the Presence. It is important to note that Michael Demiurgos did not actually use his full demiurgic power in this battle. He held himself back and did not unleash his full, limitless power against the Spectre. Even with his limitations, Michael still completely overwhelmed the Spectre. This raises an interesting question. If Ghost Rider were to face an entity with demiurgic power, would he be able to defeat him? Remember to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon and turn on notifications to see the earliest videos. Thank you. Remember, Ghost Rider was once imbued with the cosmic power, a huge source of energy, but even with it, he could not defeat Thanos, one of Marvel's most powerful villains. While Thanos is a powerful and calculating entity, he is still completely outmatched by Michael in terms of power. If Ghost Rider were to encounter an entity like Michael Demiurgos, the battle would have almost no chance of being balanced. An overwhelming power gap where Ghost Rider could not hope to win, even with other sources of power. This comparison highlights the enormous gap in power levels in the fictional universe, where entities like the Spectre or Ghost Rider, no matter how powerful, are still only a small part of the overall picture when placed next to entities with the power to create and destroy universes like Michael Demiurgos. Unfortunately, the Spectre has repeatedly intervened in events that he should not have been involved in. A prime example is Necron, who is completely immune to the Spectre's judgment because he does not possess a soul. However, this creates an obvious contradiction. The King of Tears also does not possess a soul, but the Spectre was still able to destroy him with ease. Instances like this show that while the Spectre is a powerful entity, there is no denying that the Spectre is one of the most powerful entities in the DC universe. His power level can vary depending on the host he occupies, and of course how the writers craft the story, but overall, the Angel of Vengeance is one of the most reliable cosmic warriors. The Spectre is not only incredibly powerful, but he is above Marvel's cosmic entities, including the Celestials and even Galactus. In terms of pure power, the Spectre can easily overwhelm many other powerful beings, thanks to his direct divine power source, the Presence. A being that exists to carry out the will of God without being bound by any natural or cosmic laws. In fact, the name, the One Above All, is used to refer to the ultimate being in the universe. As far as I understand, the One Above All does not have a dedicated entity that executes judgment and vengeance like DC's The Presence. This creates an interesting paradox when considering the existence of Ghost Rider, since it is well known that he is the embodiment of divine vengeance. Yahweh, who is believed to be the creator of the Marvel 616 universe. Marvel's Yahweh is an incredibly powerful being, capable of creating entire universes. However, it is worth noting that he does not act independently. In fact, Marvel's Yahweh is completely different from the One Above All. The two should not be confused, as Yahweh is just one part of a larger cosmic system, while the One Above All is seen as the embodiment of absolute power in Marvel. At the same time, Marvel's Yahweh should not be confused with DC's The Presence, although they both share the same title. This difference is why Spectre is clearly more powerful than Ghost Rider. The Spectre receives his powers directly from The Presence, an entity that is considered all-powerful in the DC universe, while Ghost Rider operates under the direction of Yahweh, an entity that, while powerful, is still limited by higher-level entities. This means that the Spectre is not just a supernatural entity, but also a tool of infinite power, placing him above most other entities, including Ghost Rider. While Ghost Rider is one of the most powerful Avengers in Marvel, in terms of the source of his powers, he is no match for the Spectre, an entity empowered by a much more powerful creator. The Spectre is more powerful than Ghost Rider. I'd say Ghost Rider has more awesome powers and a cool bike, but the Spectre has nearly unlimited potential power. The only thing that could make him weaker is the Presence. The Spectre is like a hand with 4 aces. No one can beat Spectre. What do you think about this fight? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you all very much.